It's diversity. I love the fact that we have some of the most diverse communities in London. We are the first and second highest resident population of LGBTQ plus people in London. So Lambeth first, Southwark second. I'm part of that community myself. But also the opportunity that does exist where it's properly highlighted. That there is a lot of development across both sides of the boroughs, and that needs to be used to the advantage of local people rather than a whole raft of people being brought in from outside of the boroughs and taking what might be quite high skilled paying jobs. So we have a life sciences development happening across both boroughs, for example, and my priority would be making sure that those high-paying jobs that are brought by that development are for local people, for our young residents as well, to really get them involved in life sciences as a space for them. It would be, I think, the establishment of Lambeth Links, which is the LGBTQ plus charity that I founded about 4 years ago now. Got a really strong team of trustees. We're volunteers. We do it all in our spare time. But being able to have somebody employed for the first time as a part-time person for Lambeth Links has been a real great achievement, because it's an advocacy organisation, and being able to talk about what the concerns are of the community to organisations such as the police, local health authorities as well, and the local councils is a really proud achievement for me. That's got to be from a point of view of letting people know what is available for them. But it's who's giving the message as well. Actually, there can be a lot of distrust amongst people when it comes to institutions, local authorities. I think it was in 2023, there was something like £19 billion of unclaimed benefits that people are entitled to, but aren't claiming. So that message isn't getting out enough to people saying, you are entitled to this, so you should claim it, absolutely. So for me, it would be making sure, first of all, people know what they can get and how they can get it as well. But backing that up with the people who want to be employed, for example, there are work programs out there, and getting the understanding that if you do go into work, that doesn't necessarily mean that you will lose benefits. I was at the Department for Work and Pensions office of Kennington just this week, where we discussed a number of the different programs that are available, and also the making sure that people have that understanding of what it means if they do start work, how that will affect their benefits. And it doesn't always mean that benefits will be lost. For me, it would be the aspects of health, which isn't something that is really under the purview of the London Assembly, the Mayor of London. But for me, and as a Liberal Democrat, devolution of more powers into health and how that can be better coordinated across the boroughs, absolutely. We've got some of the worst breast cancer screening rates, for example, of all local authorities in the UK. And crime as well, another one, but more on that, police presence. So I chair our local Safer Neighbourhood panel in Oval, and we have not had a full complement of officers since I've been in that position from last year. So there really needs to be a concerted effort into how we can make sure that those numbers are not only increased, but maintained as well. That is the role of the London Assembly. That's the reason why we would be in that position. And for me, it would be holding to account at a borough level. So what is being done for the residents of Lambeth and Southwark, and how is it being implemented? Devolution is a really important part of the Liberal Democrat sort of policy and thought and feeling. There needs to be more powers devolved to the Assembly, to the communities of London. And Lambeth and Southwark, for example, I mentioned health earlier on. It isn't an area that is massively devolved to the Mayor of London, to the London Assembly. I think that should be more so, so we can work directly with communities in how best for them it is to approach the massive health inequalities that are faced by residents in Lambeth and Southwark. I mentioned breast cancer screening, for example. We've got some of the worst rates in the UK. we need a more coordinated effort, and that has to be done at community level.
Riverside.